So we're in Wayne at the Ford plant where workers are on strike. Tell me about what's happening here.
Well, basically, we think we deserve more, and corporate doesn't want to give us more.
This is the plant where you work?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a high-low driver. I've been a high-low driver for 3 years now.
Okay. So does that put you in one of the newer tiers?
Yes.
So what does that mean for you?
So the tiers go by the parts plants. They make lesser than what assembly would make. So that's what they mean when they say tier 1 and they say tier 2. So we are a tier 1 plant, which is an assembly plant. So we get paid, our max pay is more, or we make more money here than what a tier 2 plant would be making, which would be like, parts plants and stuff like that.
Okay. I thought that so there are plants that have tiers, and there are also employees that are in tiers according to when you were hired. Is that right?
It does go by, it goes by your seniority date. When they say the tier 1s and the tier 2s, like he said, the Ford Michigan Assembly plant is the main plant. It's one of the bigger plants. It's the minority of it all, if that makes sense. The tier 2s are the parts plants. They're the suppliers. Okay. That's considered the tier 2s. The temporary workers, those are considered the tier 2s. So we're asking for a lot of the tier 2s, the TPTs that are coming in, that are making 16, 67, that are coming in new now, to give them a higher wage. You can go to McDonald's, or you can, let's say for instance, my son, he works for Culver's. He makes $14 an hour. This is for a motor company coming in at $16.67 an hour. You see what I'm saying? So we're asking for a better wage increase for the tier 2s. And yes, we are fighting for a higher wage increase. We're fighting for structure and, health insurance and...
what do you mean by structure?
Just structure around the plant, just better wages, everything, just no specifics, just everything. I think we deserve it. If you got the CEOs out here making billions and billions of dollars, and we're the ones who's building these vehicles and building these trucks and cars, that's giving them the raise. Why not? They don't think that we deserve what we're giving them. So that's what we're fighting for. We have to believe in what we're fighting for.
We can't even afford the trucks that we make.
We can't afford them at all.
I heard that from people down there too.
We can't afford them. It's hard out here. A lot of us want more for our kids. Like another coworker of ours said, generational wealth. Of course, we want my son. He turns 18 next year. I want him more. I want him to have more. So that's what we're fighting for. We got to fight for something. If we don't, we're gonna fall for anything.
Are you yourself? Do you have seniority to be in a better?
What do you
tier?
mean?
To have a higher? Have you been here long enough
I've
to have
been here.
like a higher
I've been
pay
here.
rate?
Well, I started out.
Some of the newer people?
I started out in a tier 2 plant. I started out in a parts plant in 2015. I think I switched over to the UAW 2017, 2018. I came here to Ford Michigan Assembly in 2020, right after the pandemic. So it's been an upgrade, a stair stepper, but I can definitely, like I told my son, I can definitely tell the difference from where I started in 2015 to where I am now. It's a big difference. Definitely a big difference. Definitely.
So just in terms of, cost of living, the lifestyle that you can afford with the pay that you're getting, how is it now, and what would that difference make if they get what they're asking for? Like, how would that change your life?
A huge difference. I don't even know how to explain it, to even where to start, but it would definitely make a big difference. Compared to the city life and living in the suburbs out here, you driving an hour from inner Detroit. It's almost an hour, 40-45 minutes it's a big difference. Gas is almost $4 an hour. So, and then to be able to move to the suburbs,
I can't even afford to live out here near the plant where I work. I gotta live in the city.
You're living in the city and then driving in,
Right.
and that's like a 40.
About 40
45
minutes.
45
Yeah.
minutes. Some people drive an hour, which is closer to the
Like
Toledo.
east side.
Yeah, Toledo border, further east side. And I moved out here, 2 years ago after I came to this plant. And of course, my income went up, but also my bills went up, my rent went up, everything went up. You know, so it's a big difference. It would definitely make a big difference.
Right. What about the hours? Is that something you care about? They're asking for a 32-hour week, and some people down there told me like
That would be nice. That would be nice,
would be
but
nice.
is it realistic?
Realistic? No.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I hope so.
We don't
you know?
really care about the hours. I mean, a lot of us get some overtime. You know, I'm one of the team leaders on the line. He's my high-low driver for the line. So we tend to get a lot of the overtime, but some of us don't. You know, it just depends. To each his own.
What's typical? Like, what's a typical work week?
Here, Monday through Friday, 40 hours or less. Here lately, it's been less.
Lately,
It's been less.
It's been sometimes we get 50 hours,
Yeah.
10 hours a day.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen that since probably April.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen a 50-hour work week. It's been 40 or less. Like this past week, we only got 29 hours.
And that's not something that you have any input into.
Oh,
They're just
no, we don't.
scheduling you.
Yep.
Do you have like a regular schedule for a period of time, or is it one of these things where they change the schedule a lot?
Normally, our shift, you have our day shift that comes in at 6 a.m. and I think their 10-hour shift is at 4:30, and then we come in at 6 and leave at 4:30 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the normal schedule on a good day, a good week.
But how often do they change the number of hours you're working per week?
And well, sometimes it depends on the parts. We may not have the parts coming in from the suppliers. They may send us home. It just depends. Our regular base schedule is from 6 p.m. to 4:30 a.m. It's 8 to 10 hours.
Did that, when there were all of the supply chain issues during the pandemic?
Oh yeah, we were
cut your
definitely
hours?
getting less. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then it kind of went back to
Depending on the
standard
parts. Yeah.
now. Okay.
Yeah. And then leading up to, you know, this whole strike issue, this contract situation, it became less. It got less and less and less.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you guys worried about layoffs? I'm starting to hear that there are some layoffs happening, and there are layoffs.
We're
with
already on
suppliers.
strike. We don't get a layoff. We're already on strike.
But I mean, other workers being laid off, or
other plants.
or if you go back and they start cutting the workforce.
And
as a
start sending it
response to
overseas.
this.
That's what we're trying to get with this contract, trying to make sure we guarantee more
Job
job security over here for us.
Because I know that some people are concerned that EVs will be a problem because they'll need a smaller workforce for that, and
Right.
That's where the job security comes in.
they'll shut down the combustion engine plants here and have EV plants with fewer workers in states that aren't unionized, maybe. Is that what do you guys think about that whole issue?
We don't agree with it because, of course, we want to keep our jobs here in the United States. Of course, that's the purpose of the job security in the contract. That's another reason we're fighting, is to keep the job security here in the United States. Yeah.
But is that like a worry? I
course.
mean,
Down the line, it may not be right now at this moment, but of course, down the line, it's definitely something to keep in the back of our minds. Like, it is a possibility they can send it overseas. So that's the purpose of the job security. So
Do you feel like morale is pretty good? You've been out here for a week, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. We have gotten a lot of support from everywhere. A lot of support.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
But yourselves, I mean, not just the support, but you're feeling good about it. You feel like
Yeah.
you could go the distance to stay out here as long as you need to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you okay? You are getting a lot of support. We can hear people honking. Do you feel like you're getting support, in general, from
The community, yes.
the
Our
community.
families, the community.
Yeah.
Social media, definitely.
Yeah.
Other cities, states. Ohio was just here
Other
earlier
locals
today. Other
been coming.
locals. Yeah, Teamsters.
The ones
trucks.
who aren't striking right now, the ones who are still working, they've been coming through and dropping off all types of goods and food goods and pizzas and all types of stuff.
Our local hall is completely full over there. It's been a lot of support everywhere.
Are you saying that the Teamsters came out and picketed with you, or they're just
no, I don't know
voicing
personally
their support?
Their support.
From what I understand, that the Teamsters are not supposed to be delivering any parts or cars or anything because we're on strike.
Right. Well, listen, for people who are watching this in New York, what do you want people in New York and other places in the country to know about what's happening here?
The thing that I say to most people when they ask that question is you have to believe in what you're fighting for. Because if you don't believe in what you're fighting for, then you will fall for anything. Yeah, you have to believe in the fight.
Basically, give the people what we deserve.
Definitely what we deserve.
Definitely.
We don't ask for much, just what we deserve. We feel like we deserve. We're out here building these trucks and we're staying away from our homes and our families and our kids, to build this company, billions and billions of dollars, and they don't want to contribute to that, then we have a problem with that.
In this fight against corporate greed.
It's corporate greed, exactly. Yep, we all have a problem with that because we're struggling. We're struggling. Literally, we're struggling. It's hard. Like I said, we building these trucks that we can't even afford to buy. So that's what I have to say. And it's not even my strike night. We have specific strike nights, and I've been out here almost every night supporting my sisters and my brothers. Yep. So that's where we at, New York.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. So how do we find them?